In a small, forgotten town, nestled between dense woods, the legend of the Watcher was whispered among the locals. It was said that a creature lurked in the shadows, always observing, always waiting for the moment someone strayed too far from the path. One chilly autumn evening, a group of friends, Sarah, Mark, Jess, and Danny, decided to hike through the woods, drawn by the thrill of the unknown. The sun dipped below the horizon as they entered the thick canopy, the vibrant fall colors slowly fading into eerie shadows. They laughed, exchanging stories of ghost sightings and urban legends. But as they ventured deeper, the atmosphere grew tense, the air thick with an unsettling silence. They reached a clearing, a natural amphitheater surrounded by towering trees. In the center stood an ancient, gnarled tree, its twisted branches resembling skeletal hands reaching for the sky. It was there that Jess proposed they play a game, one that involved standing back to back, counting to 20, and then searching for each other in the dark. Reluctantly, the others agreed, eager for some fun, despite the foreboding feeling creeping over them. As Jess began to count, Sarah felt a prickling sensation at the back of her neck, as if someone, or something, was watching her. She turned, but saw nothing except the oppressive darkness. Dismissing the feeling, she joined the others in hiding, concealing herself behind a thick bush. As the game progressed, laughter faded into uneasy silence. Mark was the first to break it, his voice trembling as he called out for Jess. No answer. They began to search, but the woods felt different now. The trees loomed taller, the shadows seemed to shift, and the path they'd walked in had vanished. Panic set in. They shouted for Jess, but only the chilling wind replied. Sarah felt an overwhelming urge to flee, her heart pounding in her chest as she stumbled through the underbrush. Suddenly, she spotted something in the distance, a flicker of movement. She rushed toward it, believing it might be her friend. Instead, she found herself in front of the gnarled tree, its bark twisted and darkened, as if absorbing the fear radiating from her. And then she saw it, a pair of glowing eyes watching her from the shadows, deep within the woods. Frozen in place, she realized the legend was real. With a blood-curdling scream, she turned to run, but was met by Mark, who had also found his way back. They scrambled together, the realization of being lost hitting them like a wave. They heard whispers, a low, eerie sound weaving through the trees. The shadows danced, and the atmosphere thickened with dread. Suddenly, a shrill scream echoed through the woods. It was Jess. The two friends exchanged terrified glances before racing toward the sound. As they ran, branches snapped underfoot, and the whispers grew louder, urging them to stop. But they couldn't abandon their friend. They reached a small clearing where they found Jess, her face pale and eyes wide with terror. She pointed to the edge of the woods, where a figure loomed, tall and dark, indistinct against the night sky. It seemed to pulse with a malevolent energy, and they knew without words that this was the Watcher. With no time to think, they turned and fled in a blind panic, sprinting deeper into the woods, branches clawing at their skin. The whispers followed them, promising darkness and despair. They could feel the presence closing in, almost tangible, as if it were feeding off their fear. Finally, they burst through the tree line, stumbling into the town square. But it was empty. No lights, no people. The chill of the night enveloped them, and the whispers fell silent. Breathing heavily, they turned to each other, relief flooding through them. They had escaped the woods. But as they began to walk home, Sarah felt a cold hand brush against her shoulder. She turned, and for a fleeting moment, she saw the Watcher, now standing at the edge of the woods, watching her with those haunting, glowing eyes. The realization hit her hard. They may have escaped the forest, but the Watcher would always be there, waiting for the next nightfall, for the next group of unsuspecting souls to wander too far from the path.